Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Because it's time to write now.
Right 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 now.
Because it's time to write now.
Right 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 now.
Because it's time to write now.
All right, and we are live. Welcome to a very casual Right Now Monday update stream. We are so excited, and I'm lucky that I got one of our oracles to be able to join me today as we are looking forward and excited for the Faded Fantasy Competition. For those of you who don't know about it, this is going to be the competition. This is going to be the epic, our second competition put on by the Right Now community this coming weekend. Finally, it's here. I'll go into all the details in just a moment. But for those who don't know me, Kaufman, writer, I work on dragons and scarecrows and all that jazz. And that's me. I'll let my wonderful co-hosts introduce themselves.
And I'm Holly, fur mom with cats, if you can't tell already. I'm also the author of A Diamond Bright and Broken, which is a young adult fantasy, and the host of the Diversity is Lit book club. Super excited to be an oracle, super honored to be an oracle, and excited for the contest.
I know. Holly, can you believe that it's here already? I'm like still in disbelief.
I know, it's crazy.
I was like, I feel like and I actually remember going through this same thing last year when we were doing the Halloween competition of like, we spent so much time into like prepping everything and putting the things together. And then when it's like there, it's like, it's here.
Yeah. It really, May just flew by. And so then I'm like, oh my gosh, it's this weekend.
I know. So for those of you just hopping into the stream, and if you don't know, we are here at the Faded Fantasy Competition. This is the second writing competition put on by the Right Now community. This is super exciting. It's going to be a competition that is a spellbinding writing competition where writers crafted 1,500 to 2,000 word stories in the fantasy or romance genre. Whether you are a fiction buff or just want to try out your storytelling chops with the new genre, Mr. Crow invites you to the Faded Fantasy Competition. So, as you guys have probably seen on socials, it's this weekend. Friday, we are kicking it off with a game stream. So we're going to be starting here on the Discord and then traveling into, no, not Discord, starting here on the stream, traveling into the Discord after it. So we'll be starting at this on the stream at 3 p.m. Pacific, and then hopping into the Discord after for some trivia, some games, and some other Faded fantasy craziness. So for those of you guys who are looking forward, come join us. Holly, I know we were just talking about like what we were kind of thinking for our games. I think we have some fun stuff planned.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I love board games. I love online games, so I'm here for it all.
I know. I'm curious, have you been to many conferences or conventions before?
A couple. Yeah.
I feel like with conventions and conferences, there's always that thing, like it's usually like some type of like mixer or social, but it's always something that happens before it starts.
Yeah, there's I haven't done any of those, but there's a book convention that I'm going to in October in Chicago, and they are having like stuff beforehand and like this donut party, masquerade, all that stuff, and I'm like, oh, there's all these like extra things.
That's so exciting. What conference are you going to?
It's the Book Harvest Book Con. So it's kind of like they've got like a jack-o'-lantern, so it's kind of like a spooky theme, but any genre can attend, and
so everyone's going to show up and be like, harvest my books, please.
Yes. Scarecrow will be there, so.
Oh yes, Scarecrow will be there. Yes, I'm going to put it into the universe that Scarecrow can show up.
Yeah.
Oh man, by the way, welcome everyone. I see a bunch of you guys in the stream. ML, Cheryl, Courtney, Holistic, Calvin. So good to see all you guys. And I know there's a couple writers who didn't or weren't able to submit in the competition. Totally all right. I tend to do a lot of things here on the stream on the Right Now community, if you haven't noticed. I remember at one point in time, Holly, I was asking you, I'm like, so would you be on my stream? I think this was in some of the early days. And you're like, yeah, I feel like whenever I go to your channel, you're always doing different things. And I'm like,
Yeah, that was just the tip of the
"What?"
iceberg before I realized that you do.
I was like, I would probably have to go back and check, but I think I probably attempted maybe like 20 different types of variety of live streams.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think as somebody who's also like an author tuber, content creator, you know, it's almost like always like trying things on like what do people like?
Yeah, and you like got into your groove and like a really good thing, and then with like your the rebrand and
Mhm.
everything, and then just tightened everything up, so it's like super impressive.
We'll see if it's still super impressive and how it is, and when we get to 1,000 streams, we'll see 500 streams from now.
Yes. You've come
Um,
this far.
how's everyone doing, by the way? We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment. Are you excited for the Fade Fancy competition? What are you looking forward to? Are you looking forward to your story being read? Are you looking forward to we're going to have some games, we're going to have some voting. We're also going to have the finals. I'm like I'm looking forward to talking about some of the stories. I haven't read I think there's only like a select few I've read, but I haven't gone through all the stories yet. I'm trying to like save my like surprise and enthusiasm for the competition.
I think that's a good idea because like
Mhm.
I'm excited going into it to see like the stories that were revised and how they, expanded on things and then
Mhm.
hearing someone read it. But so then for you to have it be like all fresh and new, I think is going to be really exciting because I know at
Mhm.
least when um, I was just like a spectator at
Mhm.
the Halloween or the Freaky Friday
Mhm.
contest and like hearing those stories was oh I actually did read one I forgot but like I was like I was a spectator for actually did participate a little bit but it's cool to be on the other side of things too.
Mhm. And then for everyone who missed out on submitting for this for Faded Fantasy, you're all good because Freaky Friday will be back before you guys know it. And like Holly, I haven't talked about this too much yet, but the big event where I'm going to be aiming to hold at the end of the summer is the first Right Now Authors Retreat.
Oh, that's exciting.
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
here for it all.
It'll be super cool. I won't be revealing details of it until probably June. No, I mean we're in June. I'm at probably July. But yeah, I'm super excited. I always ask myself, how can I find other ways to help writers in the community grow on the journey to getting their books published?
Yes, I love it.
So what we got for Faded Fantasy. So as you guys can tell, right, we have Friday and then with the rest of our schedule on Saturday and Sunday. This is our schedule. I know we've been throwing it up on socials. I know we talked about it last week, but we are looking forward to going through all the stories. We have so many individuals involved. As you guys can see here, we have our list. We got guest authors who are going to be involved in the reading. We have some specialty live judges who are going to be helping us with the live judging experience. And of course, we have our wonderful, wonderful team of oracles helping us put everything together. Which, guys, let me be real, I would not be able to do this by myself. So I am very, very grateful. Very, very grateful that we're able to put all this together. And I'm super excited. But as we were talking about this before the stream, we're like, all right, well, what do we have to show everyone today? I think we have some stories to share. And I think for everyone who made it to the semifinals, congratulations. We are so excited to be able to see and share and experience that with you. Well, we are so happy to announce that we now officially have the 12 semifinalist story ads available. And everything is linked down in the Did I link it in the YouTube description? I was like, oh, that's a good question. Hope I linked it. I've been linking so much like faded fantasy stuff everywhere. I'm
Mhm.
like, I hope I linked it. Maybe not. All right, the web page and the info packet are there. I need to think of what other things I need to link. All right, so I will get these other things up shortly. Oh, I think I linked it in the email. All right. Bear with me just one second, my friends. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to show our 12 semifinalist stories on screen, and we're going to share the advertisement, the blurbs and packages that we put together for each of the stories. So story advertisements, which is super exciting. I am loving how they came together. All right. And let's see, give me just 1 second. Kaufman is always organized.
Holistic said mastermind aligning. Love it.
All right, and I was making sure. Yes. Okay. So I wanted to make sure I had this. So this is for everybody who wants to be able to share any of our faded fantasy stuff with your community. If you want to be able to share, this is our Google Drive. This is the Google Drive folder, faded fantasy community ads. Perfect. So I just dropped that in the comments. I'll have to link it in the YouTube description after. These are all of like the things if you want to share them on socials. So like spread the word. Help us spread the word, please and thank you. And without further ado, let me pull up each of our 12 semi-finalist stories. So I'm going to get them up one by one. All right, and I am all ready. Maybe I'm all ready. Okay, I think we're going this way. All right, so without further ado, let's share the 12 semifinalist stories which have officially made it to the Faded Fantasy competition and will be seeing and listening to and hearing about this weekend. And we're going to see which ones are the top 4 who are going to make it to the finals. So without further ado, let me present our very first one. The Bell Maker's Daughter. Let me make sure. Cool. Haunted by loss, Sibby Tolliver discovers a secret map in her father's workshop, one that leads to the waking bell, a mythical instrument said to calm even the fiercest storms.
The legacy. For generations, the Herba Virtuosus has gifted pyromantic, sorry if I said that wrong,
You're good.
pyromantic abilities to the protectors of Edgehelm, and each has defended the village from becoming a wasteland of bad luck. But when Ilara returns to the Herba Virtuosus to perform the rite of passage that will transfer her powers to her protege, Jane, the cycle is called into question. Is the Herba Virtuosus really so benevolent after all?
The Herba Virtuosus. I was like, I actually don't know how to pronounce that. It's probably in the pronunciation guide.
Yes.
But that artwork though, I love that. I'm like, oh,
That's great.
I guess so. And allergies in the pale moonlight. While fleeing an attempted abduction, Violet makes a startling discovery that changes her life and proves her mother's paranoid stories might be true. When escape and allergies overlap, strange things happen in the pale moonlight.
Grimoire's Vow. Renee must search within the pages of her soul to seek the answer, with the lives of Museville and her grimoire hanging in the balance at the hands of a ravishing bandit king, Vesh de la Rosa.
Echo after silence, bound by an engagement and the expectations of society and family. Tamo has always done what was asked of him, but when a letter arrives from the one who once stole his heart, he's reminded that some goodbyes echo louder than others, and not all cages have bars.
to feel the sun again. A human prophecy calls for the extinction of dragons in order to have peace in the kingdom. Thus, it is hard to be a dragon, especially if one's hatchling finds humans more interesting than scary.
Rain's fire. Rain Brightfire has spent years hiding her fire to keep the peace in a world that sees her magic as a threat. When everything she has worked for falls apart, she faces a choice: stay silent or finally embrace her power. What begins as an ending becomes a story of rediscovery, rising from the ashes and choosing joy.
Vesna Wellspring. Kismet, a starving child merchant, and his sister Nasiba are thrown into a quest to find the wellspring of life in Vesna, said to have the power to grant wishes. But the path appears to be guarded by fearsome creatures. Can they get past the obstacles and claim their prize?
The divine move. A woman defies fate for the sake of the one she loves.
Heaven's Door. An island tribe must protect a healing angel and the door to heaven on their island. When the island is invaded, the warrior must protect and say goodbye to the angel, whom he has secretly loved since her arrival, before she leaves through the door.
Out of touch. Ari has never known a life away from her master and boss, Varys. She has always trusted and believed that he had her best interests at heart and would guide her on a path of righteousness. But one mission may change her view of Varys, his intentions, and the course of her life altogether.
Of Cats and Men. When an Egyptian cat goddess misuses her power, it threatens the love of her soulmate. Mahes, a conflicted lion god of protection, resorts to a special potion to save their relationship. The fate of Egypt hangs on the outcome.
We have some great stories. I am so excited to listen to each of these stories and especially hear it read by some of our professional guest authors. We have some really great names in the community helping us out. And I'm just like, I'm getting shivers. I'm so excited for this. It's like the enthusiasm.
Me too. And
Mhm.
I like audiobooks, so then hearing it being read is like
Mhm.
even more exciting.
Mhm. I was like, and hopefully, if we're lucky, maybe if we make bird sounds loud enough, Mr. Crow will grace us with his presence.
Hopefully.
Oh man. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And once again, for everyone who's just hopping in, Faded Fantasy is here at last. We're kicking it off this Friday with the live stream itself. And if you want to share these ads with your community, you can. We have this community folder for everyone. So that way you can take the ads that you want to share, whether it's for your story or somebody else's, or maybe you want to show the schedule or any of our other Faded Fantasy stuff. Go throw it up on social, tag us, tag the community, and let's make this a competition to remember. Sunday is going to be the day where we are going to have the finals. It's going to be a final showdown where the top 12 semifinalists who made it to the competition are going to be narrowed down to the top 4 based on the revised story. So the semifinalists were asked to revise their stories. The score from the revision round, which is round 2, is added to round 1 cumulatively, and that is going to help determine the top 4 that are going to go on to the finals. The finals are going to go through an additional discussion and a live judging ceremony on Sunday. So you make sure you come join us for day 2 of the Faded Fantasy competition because it's going to be crazy. I don't know which ones are going to win. We're going to be crowning our top 2 winners on Sunday. The top 2 winners are going to be winning gift cards and the recognition of being the first official ones to win the Faded Fantasy competition. I know.
Yay!
I
So
know.
hype.
I know. I was like, whew, man. So definitely, I see all the enthusiasm in the chat. So happy to see all you guys here. Totally need to add this link on the Discord. I think I did throw it up on the Discord at one point. Maybe I should like retag it. I should probably go retag it. But I just dropped that. I know I dropped that in the comments a little earlier. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. I was like, we are looking forward to what the competition has in store for us. We'll be joined by our other co-hosts on Friday, and you'll be seeing our guest readers throughout the weekend, our other live judges, and maybe Mr. Crow himself. So make sure to come join us. Friday, we are slated for 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll kick it off here with the live stream and then hop into the Discord after. Saturday and Sunday, what was that? I want to say that schedule was
10
once
a.m.
again. Yep. So 10 a.m. Pacific, right? Clarifying 10 a.m. Pacific. Once more, for anyone just hopping into the chat, this is what our the Faded Fantasy looks like on Saturday and Sunday. These are all in Pacific times, all Pacific. So that means if you are in Mountain Time, like myself, +1, Central +2, Eastern +3, and in other parts of the world, plus many more hours than that. No, Pacific to UTC, I want to say is 7. I think UTC is 7 or +7 or +8. But we are definitely looking forward to this festival. We're hoping it's all going to be going great, and we'll see. We'll see just what it's like at the Faded Fantasy. If anybody has any questions, drop them in the chat. We would love to hear from you. How are you feeling about the competition? What questions do you have? And who's looking forward to some stories being read? I know how much fun we had for Freaky Friday. Holly, I was like, I know you did read one of the stories too.
Yeah, I did. It was cool. It was fun to like get into that, like using my like acting skills and getting in the mood and the creepy mood. It was
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah, we did. So we did do. We're going to be doing live voting during the competition. Neil asked a great question. You're like, let's see, where is it? I know. It's like, did we get a hint at the shinies? I came in late. You did not. You did not, my friend. You're going to have to see if Mr. Crow is willing to part with them during the competition itself. So that will be more, but we will be having a lot of live reading, a lot of interactive stuff. So make sure to show up, tell your friends and family, and have them go on all their devices, like have them go on all 10 phones, and we'll see everyone at the competition. I was like making sure, visualize, you got it. All right, perfect. And I think holistic. I love your comment. Like I am in this competition in my imagination. Holistic. I absolutely love that attitude. That is a great space to be in. I was like, all right, guys, I'm in all the competitions in my imagination. I think that's a great place to be, right? Set the goal and we'll be there. So definitely so happy to have all you guys here in the stream. Definitely make sure, let us know if you have questions, comments, concerns, and that's what we got for you today. It was like, I feel like we're all ready for this Friday. In the meantime, we're going to have writing sprints throughout the week. We know same old, same old. As I try to make some progress on Scarecrow, I was like, Holly, I'm almost 50%, getting close. I'm like almost
Yay!
50% through the second draft of Scarecrow.
That's awesome.
But I know for a fact, as I've been kind of like going through it now, as I'm like looking back at what I'd done, I'm like, the end of the second draft, I feel like the story is in a readable state. I feel like the story is in a full readable state. And I feel like for me, the third draft is something I can do in like 2 weeks, where I'm just going to read through it and do more of like making like adjustments.
Yeah, like
And then
line edits or
yeah,
little
exactly.
tweaks.
Yeah. I think for me, the second draft is going to be a line edit, and I'm challenging myself on how can I cut out all the extra wordiness.
That's always fun. They say like
Mhm.
pretend it's like you'll gain $1 for every word that you cut.
I was like, yes, well, I'd be giving myself a lot of dollars because I think the manuscript is approaching 150,000 words or maybe 160. I was like, oh my
Nice. That's
goodness, it's definitely
solid.
epic. But I bring this up in the community so often. I don't think people outside of the community will read it if it's too big a word count for a first time author.
Well,
But I mean, people have also said like people are more open to reading longer works. I know
mhm.
fantasy there is an openness to longer.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I feel like
I'm
people
not sure.
yeah, if people read fantasy, like they're expecting long books. I've read long books by,
Hmm.
debut indie authors. So
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, I'm like, all right, I'm committing to this.
What is the longest book you've read from a debut indie author?
Oh,
Because
I
I think when I say like
think
160,000 words, I'm pretty sure that equals probably about. Actually, I don't know. How many was
it was
160,000
less
words?
than 500 pages, but I think
Six.
it was in the 400s, I want to say. Yeah.
I want to say 160,000 words is about 700 pages.
Okay.
Hmm. If you're like, yeah, I don't know about that. Holly revises her statement.
No, well, I read Awaken Online. I
Hmm.
did actually. I forget how many pages that
Hmm.
was, but it was huge. And then I think like the third book's like 800 pages, but 8 or
Well, I think it's a
900
little
pages.
different when you're a little farther into the series because
Yeah.
you've already built up the fan base, or you've already built up the readership in a sense, and
Mhm.
readers are more willing to go through it. It's a, I don't know with the first time one. That's the thing. It's
Mhm.
because it's the first in the series. Not only it's the first in the series and my first official solo published book.
Mhm. Well, I think if you got those words, compress it.
Oh my goodness, this cracks me up so much. You're like, Jared is going to compress his trilogy into a single book, War and Peace. All right, guys, it's going to be 3,000 pages.
And go.
All right, guys, how many people will read the 3,000 pages of the Scarecrow Compendium? Oh man, War and Peace. Yeah, I mean, I guess in Scarecrow, there's a lot of war and not as much peace.
Yeah,
So,
that's right. How long was War and Peace?
no, that's a good question because that's known as being one of the longest books, right?
I think so.
War and Peace. Page length. 1,400 pages.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. 700s is on nothing.
Courtney's like, RJ Kane's first book doesn't even complete the story. Each book is like 700 pages, and I'm on book 3, and the story isn't over. But I mean, that makes sense, right? So, like, book 1 isn't going to complete the story. I think. I was like, I always have to ask myself, what can I like say, like plot wise, because I plotted out the entire story, and I say this all the time. I know what the story is, but I don't know how many books it'll take to tell the story.
Mm,
Um, and I don't know if the entire series for the book, if it is all about Scarecrow's story. I think the entire series is about the greater world, but
mm,
book 1 is predominantly about Scarecrow. But I mean, the majority of the series is involves Scarecrow, but I think book 1 is his predominant story for my main character, anyways.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's nice because then you're opening yourself up, yeah, to like more books, other characters, like
Mm-hmm.
you've created this whole world that's so
And I think
intricate.
that was the goal. I think when I
Yeah.
thought about like what the later books look like, I think I want all of them to feel like adventures that I've basically set up in the first book, because the first book is basically hero goes on adventure throughout a really strange land and meets people and crazy things and really weird things happen and everything, a lot of craziness happens at the end.
Cool. Well, I
Yeah.
can't wait to read it, even if it's 700 pages.
700 pages. All right. So I
I'm
think
in.
you guys are wanting me to turn it into a 1,400 page book. That's what I'm hearing. Oh man. But Courtney, didn't RJ Kane already have a history and have books out? I was like, I think that would be
I
the
don't know
only thing,
RJ
because they
Kane.
had a pre-existing readership or fan base.
Oh.
So hard to say. And I guess the question then goes into is like, does the first book, so the first book tells a standalone story. Like Holly, your book, Diamond, Bright and Broken, would you say that book tells a standalone story?
Yeah, it
Mhm.
does. Hmm.
But there's more. That's not the only book in the series, right?
Yes,
Hmm.
there's more.
How many books are in your series? Was it
There's
just like
just
2 or 3?
it's just two. It's just a duology.
No,
So
I mean, that's great. That's great. You
yeah,
don't have to embark on this like 20-part epic that I'm trying to embark on.
yeah, wrapping it up in a pretty little bow. My other ideas hopefully will be, they're like 4 or 5 book like
Hmm.
ideas. So that will
Oh
be
wow.
exciting to like go with those
Ooh.
characters for longer.
So I hear that you're already thinking about these other series to embark upon.
Yes, for sure. I'm a writer, so our brains
I know,
have all
right?
the ideas.
I know. I'm surprised I've been able to stay so consistent with Scarecrow. Maybe I think because I'm so motivated. And
Mm,
when I tell people if they ever struggle with writing books or consistency, they should just live stream the process, and they will not struggle with it anymore.
that's so true. Yeah, and you've
Hmm.
got like a billion accountability buddies. So
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Accountability buddies. Oh man, Anel, you said I went back and saw the readings for the blurbs. Awesome to spotlight them. Looking forward to all the stories. Yes. So for Fade Fancy, we're going to be throwing all them up on socials throughout the week, tagging everyone, spreading the word. So just help us spread the word. We appreciate y'all. It's gonna be fun. WTC is on 5 books and could easily end up as 12. My fans want the adventures to continue, right? I guess there's the that's the question, Holly. If the readers want more, do you do more, or do you embark on what you want to do?
ooh.
That's the
Well,
question.
like I've
So
seen
let's say you end
series
the
that
duology. You end the
yeah.
duology, but then your readers are like, "This character needs a story."
Ah, if like my brain comes up with
Mhm,
something, but I won't like force it because I don't want to come
mhm,
out with something that like isn't gonna be a good product just because people want it, but I can't think of anything worthy for that character.
mhm.
So yeah, but that would be fun if someone's like, "We need this." I'll come out with a novella or like a free short story on my website or something.
Yeah, I think what was interesting is because as a fantasy author, I think because I love world building so much, I wanted to create a world where there are so many unique characters in it. The
Mm,
one thing I can say is it does feel like that every single character, not every, but the majority of characters, some will resonate with others, some will not every character resonates with everyone, and that's not the goal. The goal is that there's so many big personalities in this world. So as it goes through the series, and as the main Scarecrow story wraps, however many books that takes, that
mhm.
there's always possibilities for other characters in this universe. And I feel
Yeah,
like that's kind of what I tried to do because I wanted to tell a story and create a world around the story instead of just telling one story that's close ended.
I love that.
Hmm.
Then like everyone has depth and you
Hmm.
layers to them.
I'm trying. I mean, I believe they will, but I don't know if that's for me to decide. So I could be like, yeah, this character's like the most like soulful character ever, and I'm like, this character's flat because on this page you didn't say this, and this line didn't say this, and right. Yeah, readers pick up on the things we don't want them to pick up on, right?
That's true. Who you think is someone's like is gonna be like reader's favorite character sometimes ends up being
Mhm.
like a different character, and you're like, oh, I didn't realize they'd love that one so much. So,
Have you gotten a lot of like different types of feedback and reviews like that on your book?
well, mine like yeah, like I had a lot of people say they really loved this character, and I really love
Mhm,
this character, but then I didn't know that like I just was like, oh yeah, other people love her too. So that was cool. It resonated. It like I didn't think about it. So then when I
mhm,
heard people like specifically mention their name, I was like,
mhm.
oh, it worked.
That's really awesome. Is it validating to know that you're not the only one that loves your the one character?
Yes, it's very
D-
good. I'm
Don't
glad.
your other characters feel slighted then?
They also have their own love. They've been like,
Okay.
"Oh, these yeah, they're great for this reason and that reason, but this person's also my favorite." So, it's fine. They can have their spotlight.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you all for joining us today. WTC, Jared, who is your favorite character from my second book? Um, it's a great question. So when I worked with WTC on one of their books,
Mm,
um, That's a good one. It's probably, in all honesty, WTC, I think it was the antagonist. I think the antagonist was my favorite, actually. The
Ooh.
WTC has a series, Echoes of Defiance, and they did such a good job of setting up the antagonist for the story. I was like, I want more of this antagonist. And
Ooh.
the villain, it's one of those things where you can feel when a villain's like really is the way they are for a reason. I was like, I don't want to give any spoilers, but is the way they are for a reason. And it was just really well done. So
I
definitely
love
the
that.
antagonist. And I felt like
Yes.
I got the payoff in the end.
Cool.
Awesome. But on that note, we got to get going. So everyone, thank you for joining us today. We're looking forward to seeing you guys on the Faded Fantasy competition this Friday. Come join us in the Discord if you're not in there already. And that's all that I got. I'm Kaufman, and this is
Holly.
And we'll catch you on the Faded Fantasy.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.